Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay throughout this January period. It is a bit dull, it's been a bit rainy, it's been a bit like damp and horrible, but it's now getting really cold, isn't it? It's starting to get really cold. So really we should be looking at having some like nice stouts and things like that. But I have been to Everards Brewery today and I bumped into Crafty Craig, who is aka Craig Johnson. He does Instagram beer reviews and it was great. He is part of the Pub Shed community and it's been really nice to actually bump into the local brewery and meet Craig. And while I was in there, I was going to fill up my growler, but he was there buying a growler. So Everards do these growlers, and they basically, I think they're $15.95, and you get a free fill up with that. So basically, $15.95 for the growler, and then you go and fill it up with a litre of beer. Really great value for money. Then when you go back, it's £7 for a litre of beer. That's real of any beer, whatever beer you want. You get a loyalty card, and they stamp it. And every 10 fill-ups, you get one free. I think that's all right. If it's not, then Claire, if you're watching from Everard, put in the comments. But I think that's about right. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to get my growler out of the fridge and tell you what is lurking inside it. Back in a second. Oh, I love all these sound effects. It's so silly, but who cares? Now, another pub sheddy I want to mention. I'm going to be putting my glass on this. Look at that lovely beer mat sent to me from Martin at the Patriot Lockdown Bar. Another pub sheddy. Lovely beer mat. That's going down there. Bless you, mate. That is going to be where I'm going to put my Everards jug on. And look at this beauty. I love all the branding, the branding, what Everards has done now. That's obviously the brewery there. It's showing you the brewery throughout the glass. It's all throughout their whole range of merchandise. I wanted to get the t-shirt today, but Jane says to me, you've got enough t-shirts. So Everards, I'm sorry about that, but I will get one when I run out of t-shirts. But anyway, here it is. Here's the growler. So here's the growler from Everards, and this is the third, I'm sure this is the third fill I've had, or maybe fourth fill I've had. But this is the first one I'm going to actually review on the channel. Now, reason being is because Crafty Craig, who knows his stuff, says to me, have you tried the Tank Dipa? And I was like, whoa, what is that? And he says like, well, obviously it's a dipper, but I'm like, what is it? He says like, it's 7.2 ABV. And it's coming in like a Westie, a great Westie, great like a West Coast IPA. Now, Everards have got an American brewer there. She's got all the knowledge of all them, how to use them American hops and things. I don't know what's in this beer. Like a fool, I forgot to take a picture of the label. But with the tank beers, you just tend to get the big tank up there. And it just says on it, from what I could see, it just says tank beer, double IPA. That was it. Well, anyway, it's a limited. I've got some notes here because I rang back up and said I forgot to take any details about the beer. So it's a limited edition beer. Okay, it's a hazy double IPA, and it's packed full of powerful hops, full-bodied and hoppy. Exactly what you would expect from a dipper. And because it's a tank beer, it's unfiltered and unpasteurized, and it's coming in at 7.2%. Absolutely fantastic, unfiltered, unpasteurized. It's the real deal. It's coming out full and fantastic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this growler with a litre of beer in it, and I'm going to fill up my jug, and I'm going to talk about it and see what it gives us. Now, with the growler, obviously, different beers travel differently in these growlers. You know, beers that are less carbonated probably wouldn't do quite so well in here, but I think that this is going to give a nice little pop out of this beer. I think this is going to have some nice level of natural, beautiful, yeasty-driven fermentation, CO2 carbonation. Pop! Hey! Love it! Absolutely love it. The pressure in there is unreal. and with a growler. Oh, look at the smoke coming off that. We are smoking, baby. Or as a what would you say? Smoking. So anyway, let's get this out, and let's just put this back so we don't tip all over. Let's get it out. Let's give it a bit of an aggressive pour to ignite some of that carbonation. Get it swirling around. I hope I've cleaned this glass in the correct way. Look at that. Unfiltered, unpasteurized, hazy, beautiful. Don't flow over the top. Foam, you do as you're told, but it doesn't matter. It's going. Look how absolutely gorgeous that looks. It smells fantastic. It really does. Now, I don't actually think my glass has gone through its, it might have done, gone through its cleaning regime. I'm going to put this back in the fridge. I'll be back in a second. However, yes, so let's just pump this down to get rid of anything that might be. Look at the rising carbonation in that. Now, this is definitely not a nucleated glass. I don't think it is anyway. No, it's not, because like this is designed to have any type of beer that you want. Now, Everard's beers mostly are quite they are quite forward in their they always have that decent amount of malts in there that I always tend to taste in all Everard's beer. Just about every beer I have, they really do use some lovely malts. And now they can either do whatever they want with them. They can bring them right forward, they can dial them right back. But at some point drinking any of their beers, you will pick out whatever malts they've wanted to put in that. So, yeah, double IPA, 7.2%, looking fantastic. The actual head of this beer is really, really looking pillowy soft, very thick, nice and white. It looks very creamy, really. Oh, wow, just from that, I can feel the bitterness. Am I already 7 minutes into the video? What have I been messing about at? Anyway, I've got a bit of a snivel. Oh, so not a huge amount, a bit piney now. I'm really into this pininess. Now I've discovered it. I know where it's coming from. Yeah, so there's some piney flavours there. Aromas. That's what I'm getting from that, really. Yeah, some nice piney aromas from that. I think I'm going to get more aromas when I get into this. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Everards. Let's have a bleming glug of this. Ooh. Now, Everards are a traditional brewery. And they moved over to from one side of the road basically to the other, and they've opened up this incredible brewery. I'm yet to have a tour there. It's just really like trying to find the time to get there and do the tour. I am going to be doing it, and I know Claire, I think she runs the tour, so it'd be nice to be there. But they have been brewing some absolutely fantastic beers, limited edition beers. I love their Vienna Lager. That's probably one of my favourites. And this is not disappointing at all. It really is coming in as a big hoppy hit from a double IPA, or a Dipa as we like to call them. The carbonation levels are really nice. The mouthfeel, it's not massive, but it's got a lovely sweetness that comes in. I'm not grabbing what type of back end malts are given to me, but there is some lovely, nice citrusy sort of like bite in there, piney, citrusy. Yeah, real like rye, you know, like whenever you're told when you're cooking to sort of like grate the, you grate in the skin, you get that real sort of like bitterness out of the fruit. You know, you get a lemon zest, like a lemon. Do they call it a lemon zest? Well, you grind it, and I always, whenever we do anything like that, It's like I love lemon, but if you squeeze the lemon and add a suck of it, it's like, oh, it's too much. It's too much. Whereas when you sort of like grind away the rind, like the lemon zest. I'm sure it's the lemon zest or whatever. I'm doing all this movement. Look at it. JD says I use my hands so much when I'm talking. But you're getting that sort of like bitterness from the skin almost. That's where that sort of lemony, sort of citrusy sort of taste is coming from. It's not actually like a real citrus taste. It is, which I don't like, and I've spoke about in other videos. It's more of that bitter side of the fruit, of the lemon, that you're getting from this. It's not really lemony, but it's like I'm just more talking about that rind, that zest, that what you grate out of a citrus fruit. The pine taste. Oh God, I can't stop tasting pine now. It's absolutely incredible. It's really, and I mean this in a good way, in an expected way. It's overwhelming. It's so piney. It's incredible. The bitterness level isn't massive. It isn't massive. But I think I'm sort of like looking to space, because if I look at myself, I'm concentrating on myself. But if I look into space, I can just shut what I'm looking off at, and I can just think. It is incredibly balanced with the malts in there, but the malts are not coming forward like a big sweet hit and they're not taking anything away from what this is giving you. They're not taking anything away from that massive, piney, zesty, but the piney taste you get from these dippers and from the West Coast IPAs and all that piney taste is more on the real bitter side of it. So it's just that real hit of that real bitter, piney. It's fresh and it's bitter and it's coarse and it's just really in your face. It's massive. But then it's balanced by the beautiful crafted malts that Everards Brewery, seriously, when it comes to the malts, they always do it well. I can tell I'm drinking an Everards beer. I'm sure I probably would. I'm probably dropping myself in it now, but I'm sure if somebody poured an Everards beer to me and told me, right, tell me where that, just have a drink of that, I'd probably drink it. I'd go, do you know what? This tastes like an Everards beer. I bet if it really happened in real time, I wouldn't pick it out. You know what I mean? I'm just saying this now, but it's definitely like I can seriously pick out an Everards beer because of the malts in there. But this has got huge pininess, lovely. Yeah, there is a slight toffiness right in the background, but the pininess is really forward, and that real bitter, zesty lemon and lime citrus fruit rind is really coming forward. But it's not like the real juicy lemon or juicy lime. It's just all that bitterness from the skin and the the rind of the fruit, really, and then balanced with this lovely bitterness. The alcohol is really hidden really well. It's absolutely amazing. I thought that I probably was going to pour this out and then leave the rest, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to top this up. I'm going to drink it. I'm going to drink it all. Oh, so I wonder now if we get another little pop. So we've still got, and when I say pop, okay, a growler will always pop the lid off, won't it? It will always do that. But that still had a little bit of force behind it. But I cannot leave this in there. It just seems unfair to it. And if there's any like unfiltered loveliness in here, I want to have some of that. You know, if it's settled to the bottom, I want to get it out. You know, I don't want to I don't want to wait till tomorrow to drink this. Although I'm trying not to drink in the week. Oh, now the thing is as well. There's still some in there. It won't go in the glass. So the thing is, right, £7 for a refill. And I'll be honest with you, when you talk about like beers being put into a growler, if you put a non-carbonated type of hand pull beer, you could almost get a hand pull beer and very steadily, you're not going to pour it like a pint to get it in there because you don't want it full of foam and you can't get the full litre of beer in. So I've watched the guys at Everards pour this in, making sure that you're getting your full litre of beer. And trust me, this is full. They've got to leave a little bit to allow for a little bit of expansion within the beer, a little bit of room for the beer to but it's not going to blow this top off. But yeah, so when you go to Everards, just rest assured that you are getting your full amount of beer in there for £7. So we're talking here, ladies and gentlemen, a 7.2% crafted limited edition Dipa, and you're getting a litre of this for £7. That is value for money. And let's face it as well, when you've had 10 fill-ups, you're getting one free. So 10 fill-ups is £70, but you get one free and it reduces the price, doesn't it? Yeah, value for money, fantastic. And it really is a good growler as well, because it's well made. It's I think it feels like it's made of metal. The top's really well. It's really well sealed. It's dead. It's like a stainless. Looks like a stainless steel inside, or maybe, I'm sure it looks like a stainless steel inside. Make sure you rinse some out before you take it back. That is paramount. Oh, magnificent! Now, this isn't Avatar. Oh, it's really. Now, do you know what? Now, the one thing I've really noticed there is that like a resinous taste in there from there is that like, I think it's because I've just pulled that out and just chatted or whatever, but I've noticed that nice resinous, oily sort of like coat your throat sort of like taste with that now, or feeling with that now. Oh, it's so drinkable. It's so drinkable. And I think you really only get that resinous, that resinous sort of like taste, and that moreish, resinous, oily sort of taste from the hops if it's whole leaf. So I would imagine they're using whole leaf hops in here. Oh, what else is coming through? It's really starting to like ignite everything now. There's something else has just come through there. Oh, I'll be honest with you. I am not a beer expert, right? I drink the beer. The experts are the people that brew the beer, right? Okay. So we're the ones that drink the beer, and I'm the one that drinks this beer and makes you want to go and buy it and drink it yourself, right? And that's the only thing that I get out of it, is it makes me smile doing this. And if you, from this video, are in Leicester and you pop to Everards Meadows and you go and have a meal there and you go and get yourself one of these tank beers they do, the lagers, the imperial stouts, everything they do, and you enjoy it, it's keeping my local brewery busy. And that means that they stay open. I mean, they've been going 175 years. It's been their birthday at the minute. I think I've quoted that right. And like with all the microbreweries, all the big breweries like Everards, all the bottle shops, I just want to keep, and so a lot of people who do this want to keep you buying the beer and keep me buying the beer and keep us enjoying it and keep these places alive. Because let's face it, people, if they were to disappear, I think dry January would turn into absolute depression, right? Because you'd be forced to be dry, because all we'd have left is SodaStream, right? Anyway, that's waffle. But this 7.2%, yeah, 7.2% ABV. I can't even find it in there. It is like so drinkable. So refreshing. And like I say, now I've been drinking this for a while. Now I'm starting to get that real resinous, the real bittery pininess is sort of like been taken over by a nice resinous sort of like pininess. It's really calmed down a little bit. The malts are starting to come through a little bit more because my palate is adapting. I'm getting used to it. It's almost like with that first taste of a really hot curry or a really hot chili or something is a real shite. That is hot. And then as you get through it and your palate adapts, it's not so bad. And you know, and then you get into all the other flavors because that initial hit. So the initial hit from this was that massive piney, real bitter piney whack. Then the malts have come through, but now I'm starting to get the resinous pine come through, the resinous taste. I love the fact I've actually learnt what the piney taste should be. And so this does put it in a little bit of a West Coasty type of IPA. It is hugely hopped. I don't know what hops are in here. I'm guessing it's going to be American, a lot of American hops in here. I mean, I want Citra hop. I don't really feel if the Citra hop is if the actual Citra hop is in here, I would guess that it's really been put in as a dry hop. I don't really think it's been put in really to add a lot of flavour as such. It might have been, but there's not. I think the more citra, the citra sort of like stuff, is coming from other hops that give you citra flavours, that give you them sort of citrus fruit flavours, and I think that like. No, because the thing is, like, if it was in the dry hopping, you get more of that citra nose, which you have got. It is there, so I think I'd be interested to know where, if the citra in there, and there's a lot of that zesty, sort of like grated off skin bitterness from the skin of the fruit. But I'd be interested to know where that citra hop is placed in here. This has got more of the moorish type, resinous type hops in here that will give you them citra flavors, but there's a lot of other flavors there that are being more overpowering than what the citra is. But it's very cleverly blended, and that's why I waffle and come out with these descriptions of it, because a lot of the most blended and crafted and really good beers keep you guessing all the while. They keep hitting you with different flavours all the time. And I think that if the brewer who brewed this beer was watching, they'd be going, ha, yeah, you ain't spotted that yet, have you? And then when you do, you go, ooh, there you go. And I think these beers, and this is why I say I'm not an expert, one person can tell you this beer is the most bitter beer they've ever drank because they've not drank anything more bitter. Another person can tell you this is the most sweetest beer they've ever drank because they've not drank any other sweet beers. So this is why I say a panel of 7 around here drinking this beer will all, if you add your secret notes that you've got to write down about this beer, they'd all have different tasting, aroma, smells, tasting notes. And one of these days I'm going to have 7 people around here and we are going to review a beer all together, because what makes a beer reviewer a beer reviewer? I'll tell you what makes a beer reviewer a beer reviewer: the person that's drinking the beer. Because at the end of the day, if they're drinking the beer and they've got their opinion on it, that is their opinion. But I tend to find that, like, if you're watching me, you value my opinion as an individual. So if I was to drink this and think it wasn't all that, I would have to say that, you know. I like to be honest, but this is a banger. This is an absolute banger of a beer. This really is a. That was just the growler pop now, so there's nothing left in that that's going to that's going to carbonate up in that much beer in a great big 1 litre growler. But it just keeps giving. I mean, you can see how much beer I've had in there. I've had my full litre of beer by far. It's given me a chance to waffle on for a long while. So it isn't massively hazy. I've seen hazier. It's slightly hazy. It's got fantastic head retention. It's got an amazing head. I would imagine that, like, you know, to get a head like that, you've got to be using some nice, lovely yeast, and you've got to be, you know, to get for a Dipa, to get like a beautiful pillowy soft head like that. It's all about the malts you're using. It's all about the yeast you're using and the amount of time you've left it to, you know, ferment. Oh, do you know what? I'd love some real insight information on this beer. But my local Everards Brewery that I've loved since I was a kid, 18-year-old kid. I'm nearly 54 now, so I can say 18-year-old's a kid. They are now producing beers that are rivaling some of the best craft brewers out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are well-established microbreweries that have only ever done craft beer. And get them to brew a nice traditional, sort of like best bitter or something, and they might not be that fantastic. But, you know, Everards Brewery, yeah, I am not going to say that they are absolutely amazing when it comes to craft brewing, but they are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. But for a traditional brewery, all of their limited edition craft beers that they have done have been class. They've been really great. Have I had better Dippers? Yes. But was that Dipa designed to be better than this? No, it was designed to be an individual double IPA like this is. But of them Dippers that I've had before, got that Everards malted, lovely sweet balancedness about it? No, because that's unique to Everards. And, you know, whatever they're doing there with their water, I mean, for a West Coast IPA, you don't necessarily need like the water to be too soft. It's quite like okay to have like harder water. Only what I've been listening to and I've been told. It's not that I know, but this has got like a really nice sort of West Coast, very subtle West Coast. It's not overly bitter. This is not suck your cheeks in bitter. This is a proper double IPA. It's like you know, a good old traditional IPA with which is a double. You know, this isn't like, this isn't the suck your cheek in bitterness, not at all. But it's got such a moorish back addition to it. And the pine, now it's settled down in my palate, is really big, got really oily and resinous, and it's really layering my throat is literally like a toboggan track now. It's so slippery and gorgeous. And this is going down like a 4% beer, although it is starting to have some sort of effect. I could finish these videos in 10 minutes, but with a YouTube video you can fast forward it. I want to have this beer and let my body adjust to it, let my palate adjust to it, and then really describe the beer right from the start to the finish. Because at the start this was a massive hit of piney bitterness, but now it's a massive hit of like nice resinous piney taste with a really nice dried grinded zesty citrus skin with some lovely underlining malts. Absolutely beautiful. And the thing is, I can't even say I'd like to try this on draft, because I have. Because with the growler, it's comes straight out of the tank, straight into the growler and straight home, and drank. And to be honest with you, the alcohol is having an effect on me. It is. It really is. But yeah, all the way down, right the way down to the bottom. I'm going to carry on recording, but I'm going to come back to you in a second when I've drank a bit more of this. So the bubbles in there, look, are really fine. Can you see them? They're almost like dust going around there. Now, fine carbonation bubbles are a sign of a quality beer, and that's why you are getting that real nice pillowy soft head, and also a really nice white head, which shows to me that the bubbles, the carbonation is rising to the top, but it's not really taking any of the beer with it. It's just forming that nice foamy head to protect the beer that's underneath it. And you can see in there, even though it's hazy, it has got that like traditional Everards caramel toffee type of malty colour to it, which we get with all Everards beer. And I don't mean that as a every single Everards beer tastes of toffee and caramel. I don't mean it like that. What I mean is that it's just a great tradition of Everards to be able to work with their malts they use so very well. And if you ever have an old original and it's done right and it's fresh and it's good, you will taste that pure Everards crystal caramels. You'll taste that toffee, you'll taste that caramel. It's absolutely lush. This beer here, this old original, is still one of my favourite beers ever. Yep, 7.2 ABV. It's hitting the spot now. So yeah, if you really want a fantastic experience, drive to Everards Meadows. Go into the beer hall, go into the shop, have a look around. There's all local produce in there, local gins, local wines, local food. Go into the beer hall, grab yourself a great beer like this, and just enjoy the food's fantastic in there. And trust me, and then come back to this video and comment. Your recommendation was well received, Speno, because like it is really, really good. It is great. It is great. I can't say it ain't, because it is. It's fantastic. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try and edit this video down to about half an hour, but I don't think I'll be able to do it. Hashtag Speno Waffle. It really is just sort of like a great thing to do this, and I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, thank you, Everard. Thank you, Crafty Craig, for recommending this to me. I'll put his Instagram page in there. And take care, everybody. And January, it's coming to, what date we're on now? We're 14th, so we're nearly at the middle. We're nearly past the middle bit. If you're on dry January, keep going. If not, then just take it steady or whatever. Or do what I'm doing. Drink 7.2% dippers on a Sunday night. Wicked. Take care. I've been Speno. Thank you so much for all your support. Much love. See ya.